Hey everyone, this is Mel, the Crazy Desert Knitter, welcoming everyone to the Crazy Desert Knitting Podcast. Thank you everyone for joining me today. If you are a new viewer, welcome to the Crazy Desert Knitting family. If you are a returning viewer, thank you guys so much for coming back. Welcome's out of the way. What do you guys know? This is September 2019. I am coming to you from Field of the Sun here in the United States. And I hope to be entertaining, I guess. I don't know. Okay, I'm really not having a great day with intros, so this is probably the one I'm going to keep. Going with it. Where was I? Oh yeah, intros, what can I say? I did actually write show notes today, so if you guys ever see me glancing off to the side, that is what I am doing because I do not have a table in front of me. The house is also a little bit of a, the house is also a little bit of a mess, so please bear with me. So things are in a little bit different position than they normally are for me, but I'm hoping it's all going to be okay. Okay, this episode is going to be approximately 30 to 40 minutes long. I like to keep mine a little bit shorter rather than longer because, well, I don't like to ramble too long and you guys don't really want to hear it. So, again, 30 to 40 minutes long. We'll go through some completed objects. We'll go through my whip, what's up next. If I actually have any stash enhancement, maybe, possibly, actually, I think I do this week, but it's really not stash enhancement. It's kind of strange. Not stash enhancement in the normal terms of stash enhancement. It's just, I needed it to finish a project. So what can I say? Moving on, what can I say? We will also talk about what I am wearing coming up. So I hope you guys are all ready. So grab yourselves your favorite beverage. Today is my Diet Coke. And before anybody says anything, yes, I know it's terrible for me, but I find it delicious. There we go. Also, this episode may not actually have any editing associated with it. As I said earlier, the house is kind of torn apart. Therefore, getting to my computer is a challenge. And having a space to work on my computer is also a challenge at the moment. We're getting our tile floors resealed. And therefore the entire house is completely torn apart. Like it's bad. So please bear with us. If you are looking for any names of patterns, yarns, anything like that, check out that description box below. Down there. Beep, boop, beep, boop, boop, boop. Okay, everything is going to be written in there. All the show notes, all that kind of stuff is down there. Check it out. Description box. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our completed objects. Projects. I can't even talk today. Woo! Okay, so what I am wearing actually is my first completed project. Oh my land, I said it once. I'm not going to be able to unsay it again. Okay, I just also realized I don't have any makeup on either. Oh well, real life, guys. Welcome. Yes, it actually is my first completed project. I'm actually really excited. I am getting to the time of year where this is something that is... This season actually is something that coming up / winter for us here in Arizona is where I can actually wear something like this. This is the Rombi sweater by Terri Kruse. And the reason why they call it Rombi is they have this really great, Rombi or Rombi, I'm not really sure which, but there's this really great detailing here on the collar. I guess I'm going to call it a collar. It kind of rode up since I sat down. It's really actually not designed to be quite that high. But there's that. Now, if you guys have a really great, actually, there you go. I'll get even closer. Seeing as I'm wearing it, it's kind of hard to see. There's also that diamond pattern actually in the center of the back. That's a little bit harder to see. If you guys have a really great eagle eye, you'll notice I didn't actually finish the collar. I ran out of yarn. Completely 100% ran out of yarn. I actually had about 200 extra yards when I started this project. That being said, I knit it with a slightly larger needle at a slightly different gauge, as it turned out, which was probably a good thing. I mean, I don't really notice the missing, I think it's actually 5 rows. So I'm only missing, like, you guys can't see, but about maybe that much of width here. I'm great. You know, I'm 5 rows. I mean, we're talking that. I mean, it's not a big deal. So we're not even talking 1/4 of an inch on both sides. I've worn this one twice now. I have not noticed. It does still actually, it has been blocked, which was really nice because the arms originally were a little bit too small. They were a little bit small. Now I've actually got room. I have big arms to begin with, guys. The size of my arms are actually for the size of a person slightly larger than me. Apparently that's just where I carry my weight a little bit more. But so when I blocked them out, they blocked out just a little bit bigger, which was perfect. So that's really nice. It blocked a little bit longer as well, which was great. So blocked out really well. This is made out of, I probably should tell you that, this is made out of Huasco Botany Lace. I don't know the colorway. The ball bands I had didn't have the colorway on them, unless Botany Lace actually is the colorway. It's more of a sock weight yarn than a true sport weight, which is actually what the pattern called for. However, several other people knit this sweater, cardigan, whatever we're calling it, out of Huasco as well. And so I had it in my stash and I had enough yardage and I said, let's go for it. Part of the reason why I absolutely love this, again, I live in the Valley of the Sun. I live in a desert. Even today, it's cloudy, it's overcast, it's the middle of September. It's still 100 degrees out, guys. I live in a desert. What do you expect? It's short sleeved. And I know logically that I could take any pattern and basically cut the sleeves off and make it a short sleeve pattern. But some of them just don't look great short sleeved. So the fact that this is short sleeved is actually really nice. I love the feel of the yarn. The yarn had a great twist to it. I've used Huasco before. I'm a big fan, just letting you know. It had a great twist to it. It didn't split. It didn't come apart. It was great. So in that regard, I love the yarn, love the colorway. It is actually something a little bit outside of my comfort zone, which is actually kind of nice. So woohoo for me. So this is goal garment number 3 for the year. I did finish Driftwood Tee this year, so that counted as garment 1, which is really funny. I'll talk about that in a minute. Garment number 2 was actually what I finished, or what I wore last episode, August's episode, and that was the Forest Weave by Yumiko Alexander that I made out of Juniper Moon Farms, Zoe DK. That's actually probably one of my more well-worn tops so far, just because it could fit the weather here during the summer right after I finished it, which was great. I do have another garment that's in my closet that I'm going to wear, probably come up towards fall and winter and spring here in Arizona. It's just a little too heavy to wear at the moment. So, you know, kind of working through that. But, so that is my first completed object. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My second completed object, I actually got to sit over here. I got to move packy alpaca here. Last time you guys saw me working on the Hitchhiker by Martina Behm, B-E-H-M. Hang on, I'm gonna look. B-E-H-M, I'm sorry. Martina Behm. Fairly common pattern. Type it into Ravelry, type it into Google. You know, Hitchhiker knitting pattern, you'll find it. Trust me, it's great. Now, the Hitchhiker pattern actually calls for fingering sock weight yarn. That's what she used. I wound up truly using a DK. So, this is my finished Hitchhiker. I did all 41 points. I will say that because I did it on DK and I did all 41 points, it's giant. Like, you guys can't even see it. Like, it exceeds my arm span on both sides. It's absolutely huge. So keep that in mind. I probably should have stopped after about 0.35 would have been the recommended. One, just to let you guys know, it becomes a little long. It becomes actually a little bit hard to actually wrap around and make it look a little nice. Unless you guys have it off to the side. But it is actually made for a friend of mine, but I do love the colors in this. The yarn that I used was Strandavarious 100% BFL Wool. There is not a colorway. It came out of their discounted scrap bin, basically. They took a whole bunch of the yarn that they, like leftovers from yarn and stuff that they had pieces of from various colorways apparently, and they supposedly, according to the person that sold this to me, working at the booth at the fair like 3 years ago, the yarn festival, I should say, fiber festival up in Flagstaff, Arizona, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. I don't know. But basically what they did is they took bits and pieces of all the different colors and then they spun it all together. And this is actually what it came out to be. It turned out gorgeous. So that is actually the first completed object. I love the colors in here. Like, I still to this day, I'm actually considering keeping this because of the colorways that are in here. I absolutely adore them. But out of the exact same yarn, out of Strandavarious 100% BFL wool, I went ahead and I actually knit up TinCanKnits Barley Light hat. And it's a great pattern. This turned out a little stripier than I was anticipating. Like, there really is no purling. And by the way, if you hear the dog barking, I apologize. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, he's being good today. I told him not to bark. Oh, he's actually listening. Yeah, JD's kind of floating around in the background there. So it turned out a little stripier than originally intended, but that's okay. It still matches the hat. It still matches this, so that's really nice. But again, Barley Light by TinCanKnits. It has been blocked, as has this. I was going to say, I blocked this, I blocked Hitchhiker, and I blocked my hat. However, I have not cut off the tails on this or the Hitchhiker, as it turns out. So there you go. But, hold on. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Where was I? Oh yeah, TinCanKnits. Because it was made of Barley Light. Barley Light by TinCanKnits is actually designed for a fingering weight. There's a fingering weight version, and then there's the Barley, which is the worsted weight version. And so what I did, because this is actually a DK weight yarn, and it actually said it on the tag, it's DK weight yarn, that I wound up taking it and I took the light pattern, I went down a size in the Barley Light, but went up like 2 needle sizes. And then I knit this hat. And I think it looks really cute. It's a little bit long because I followed the directions for, like, there you go. It looks really weird because these colors really don't match, but it'll look really great on my friend who I'm actually giving this to. There we go. It's a little slouchier. Ah, there we go. A little slouchier. There we go. So again, I followed the medium stitch count and all that stuff. I followed the large length wise, and then I used DK weight yarn and then like went up 2 sizes. So it's a little on the slouchier side, which is okay. It's a little on the big side for me. However, I got a half head now. What do you guys know? There we go. However, my friend has a slightly differently shaped head. Mine's a little more oval. Hers is actually a little more round, like round. So this should fit perfectly for her. The Strandavarious yarn, actually I thought worked pretty well until I got to the very end of the skein. I had some breakage in one of the 3 of the plies. Not a big deal. You know, I just kind of snipped them out, refilled it in. Again, I can't really complain due to the fact that, you know, I bought it in a discount bin. It was 660 yards and I got it for like $10. It was awesome. But I really enjoyed working with the yarn. I would actually use that yarn again. I thought it had a great twist to it and all that fun jazz. Okay, putting out pack the alpaca back. That is actually all of my finished objects. And then we're going to go into whips after I take a drink of my lovely Diet Coke. So refreshing. Okay. Most people are not used to seeing me with multiple whips. I'm a fairly monogamous knitter. I do enjoy knitting one project until it's done and being done. This is actually classified as a knitting podcast. However, my first whip is actually a crochet project. So I know, a little weird, especially for me, a little weird. I get it. But the reason why is I'm actually using this as a baby gift. And the person I'm giving it to is doing the baby's room in beach ocean themed stuff. So I actually went out and I found, this is much larger than what's ever going to show up in the camera range, just to let you guys know. I actually went out and I found a pattern for a whale rug, like an actual, you know, rug shaped like a whale. You know, the giant mammal, that kind of thing. And the pattern is Joyce and Justin's The Whales. Was it The Whales or The Whale? The Whales, sorry. And it's a rug. She has some really great animal-shaped rug patterns out there. It's by Ira Rott, by the way. Again, check out the description box below for all spellings and things like that. And I chose the whale rug. And this is actually where I got to. So this is the main body of the whale. And then this is the top, obviously. And then you come over and we've got the fins at the back. And also, it's actually quite large, guys. It's quite large. It's actually designed as a rug. There is a piece. This is, I use the tails to weave stuff in, to sew things on. This is actually the, this is the blowhole with the spray coming out. And there is an eye. The eye. The little twinkle. Again, it's not all pieced together because I still have a little bit left to go. And then this is, until I ran out of yarn, the part of the dorsal fin. So it's going to be, you know, a fin, a true fin. But I ran out of yarn. I did go up one hook size from what she said. I have a tendency to crochet fairly tight and small. And I didn't think anybody wanted that. So the pattern calls for something. I don't know what it calls for. I went up to a 10mm clover hook, the N/P, if you guys are part of the United States. I actually went out and I specially bought this off of Amazon, so for like $3, I think it was. It is plastic, but that's okay. It's actually a really nice plastic. It's nice and slidey. The slidey is not a great word for it, but the yarn glides easily. There we go. So that's the hook I'm using. It is a size up from what they actually recommended using. There you go. I am actually making this out of Paint Box, which is by loveknitting.com. And Paint Box, this one is Simply Aran. And it comes in a bunch of colors, like 100 colors or something really crazy like that. This one is color number 233. I call this one Ocean. The spray is made out of the same thing. I mean, everything's made out of Paint Box, guys. It is 100% acrylic. It's nice, it's soft, it's squishy. It's for a baby, so therefore it needs to be washable. It needs to be washable, it needs to be dryable. It's going in a baby's room. It's 100 grams. It is approximately 201 yards per skein, or per ball, depending on how you guys look at it. I did have to go out and buy more because, again, by going up one hook size, I did increase my gauge size, just a smidgen. And I had this much left over, but yeah. So I have the rest of the fin to do. Putting all this stuff back in this bag. And right now, the pieces are all living in my froggy project bag. My clear frog project bag. But the wheel rug actually does not fit in there, so it had to find a new home. I'm actually missing the rest of the fin, and I'm missing 2 rows, like short rows at the top of the whale here, and then 1 row of single crochet like all the way around the whale. So I don't have much left, but I did run out of yarn, and so to be on the safe side, I ordered 3 extra balls, even though I probably only needed 2. I was not ordering again. So hopefully this will be done pretty soon. So that is project number 1. That is whip number 1. Whip number 2 is actually living in what I call the handbag. It's really great. Again, I kind of sort of went in my mom's sewing room and took it. I'll be honest with you. The nice thing is it opens at the top. It's got this metal wire in it so that it'll stand open. It's just awesome. Okay, besides that. Okay, so in this bag lives my, whoops. Sorry, guys. Ugh. Okay, so in this bag lives, I did stop mid-row here, so please bear with me. My Frisian Shawl by Brittany Wilson. This is Frisian by Brittany Wilson. And it's kind of Hitchhiker-esque. However, you don't really see the true beauty of this pattern until it's blocked out. What you can't see is there are yarn overs and knit 2 togethers in there that when they are blocked out makes it look gorgeous. And there are only 12 points to this one, or 13 points to this one. I'm on the 13th point. I have about another 4 or 5 rows to go. I am actually midway through a row, so I'm gonna be really careful as I hold this thing up. So please bear with me. But, so there's the edge. There's that piece. And that piece. So, yeah, and it's, again, it's kind of Hitchhiker-ish. However, there's some lace in here and the math is totally different. So if you guys are a math-based person, this is the project for you. It's very much geared towards a math brain, or what I call a math brain. Somebody that works really great with numbers. Just to let you guys know. If you don't work so great with numbers, this pattern might frustrate you guys a bit. Just to let you know. I think it's a really well-written pattern, however. It's nice, it's concise, it's well-written, but you do need to keep track of your rows. Even more so than you do with the Hitchhiker, you definitely need to keep track of your rows with this one. And the reason why I say that is if you don't bind off in the right spot, it grows. And the way that the points grow will look funny when you get done. So again, keep track of your row count. You should be fine. I would put this probably at an intermediate stage because you do need to be able to read your knitting. So just to let you guys know, you can read your knitting. You guys can do this. When I say read your knitting, be able to figure out where you have a yarn over. And once you can figure that part out, you're golden. You're absolutely golden. But again, I really enjoy this pattern. This is the second time I have knit this pattern. I'm knitting it out of completely different yarn this time. I am actually using, Juniper Moon Farms, Finley and Finley Dapple. I'm actually taking, these are what I would call light fingering weight yarns. The pattern calls for a light sport weight or a sport weight yarn, but I call these light fingering. They are so thin, they are actually almost lace, in my opinion. They are very, very thin, so this is the Finley. This is the Finley Dapple. I have no idea what colorway this is because I inherited it, but it is a pale pink. My mom calls it a salmon pink. I call it a pale pink. I don't know. I'm not great with colors and I don't like pink, so this is really hard for me to judge. And this, I actually really like the colors in this one. They're really strange, and they're so not showing up on camera well. Can I get it to show up? Okay. That's probably the closest I'm going to get. But the colors in here are just really fun. It's called Roast Turkey. This is Finley Dapple, and it is called Roast Turkey. So keep that in mind. It's really fun. So I am holding them double. So they're probably a little bit closer to a DK weight. 2 fingerings typically make a DK. 2 socks typically make a worsted. Or close to a worsted. There you go. But so it's a little bit thicker than my last one. If I sneeze, I'm sorry. 3. Excuse me. Okay. So again, it's a little thicker than my last one, but I still have that nice drape because this the Finley and the Finley Dapple are 50% silk, 50% wool. Exactly what type of wool, I don't know, but it is wool. So again, this is, you know, hand wash only. But it does have that nice flowy drape, especially once it gets blocked. So I'm really enjoying this. I don't really like doing pink. I don't like knitting pink. I don't like wearing pink. You know, very rarely will you ever see me knit with pink yarn, ever. However, I did inherit this yarn and I have worked with it in black before. And I very much enjoyed that part of it. But I didn't like it separate. I didn't like that one pink separate. So I went ahead and I put them together. And I got more of this grungy, pinky, browny color. More of a fall color, I guess, is how I would term this stuff. Like right here is kind of a decent description of what it's going to look like. It's a little pinker in person, but not by much. So I did decide to actually add the 2 together. So that is my second whip. That is all I have to say about that. Okay, moving on. Again, I only have about 5 rows left on that, and then it will be a completed object, which is awesome. So, what is going to be up next on my list, excuse me, of things to knit? And next I am thinking about doing the Marsh Tee, and this is by Amy Palmer. I think I have something in my stash that's a nice baby blue color that would work really well for this. It calls for a sport weight yarn. And I think it's sport weight that I have in my stash. I'm actually not going to be knitting this for myself. I'm going to be knitting this as a Christmas gift for somebody. So I don't actually need my size. I need like a size and a half smaller than me. So that's great. But this is going to be one of those next things on my list. Also next on my list, which I didn't actually get to put on my needles like I wanted to this last month or so, was the Baby Girl Blanket by, I'm going to totally mess up her name. Hold on one second. Baby Girl Blanket by Tatyana Fedorova. By Tatyana Fedorova. Check out the description box below. Just letting you guys know. And it's called Baby Girl Blanket. It's also for somebody else that I know that is having a kid. And they asked for something that was usable, but heirloom-like. I'm going to be knitting it out of the exact same paint box yarn that you guys saw for the whale rug. Paint box yarn. But it's going to be in more of a peachy color. A peach color instead of a blue or anything like that. Because the baby's room apparently is going to be, I don't know, she told me. She wanted something in peach. That's all I know. She wanted it to be washable. I wanted it to be fairly fast to knit. The pattern called for Aran weight yarn. I said awesome. So I bought it. Especially when they have a sale. So that's actually maybe what's going to actually be next on my needles before the Marsh Tee. But I think I need a baby item break. Because once I finish the Frisian Shawl, I'm going to go back to the whale rug. And then I'm going to, you know, I don't know. We'll see. All right. So those are the 2 things. Also, I am going to want to knit a couple of washcloths. I did order, this is the only stash enhancement I've got besides stuff to actually finish projects. And when I said I literally ordered just 2. When I ordered the 3 additional skeins. I am trying Paint Box 100% cotton. It is a DK weight cotton. So I have no idea how well this is going to work. I have no idea. I've never used it. I will let you know once I finish it. But I ordered it in the same blue, as it turns out, as my whale, and I ordered it in green, and it's showing up like limey green, like really bright, and it's not, it's more like a, there. Look at the bottom of the screen. It looks a little better than right here. This down here is probably its closest to its actual color. But there is a turtle washcloth and a whale washcloth that I have, pattern that I have that I got for free on Ravelry. Just typed in turtle washcloth and whale washcloth. Just letting you guys know. That I got off Ravelry for free. That I'm going to use to make these. Also as baby gift. Those are probably going to be the next thing. Just quick, easy projects to finish up. Maybe I might start a blanket project. There is Michelle Hunter, Knit Pearl Hunter. She created a knitting, totally gonna get this wrong, building blocks blanket pattern. And basically each block is a different pattern, so you learn new stitches as you go. So if you're a beginning knitter, it's a great book for you. She does a great job of explaining things. I am thinking about that. It does call for a worsted weight yarn. Don't know if I have any worsted weight yarn in my stash. We'll see. If I do, maybe I'll use it. If I don't, maybe I won't. Who knows? Also, probably up soon on my list is, I'm gonna get it. Okay, this is Convergence by Yumiko Alexander. She is also the pattern model in here. I've also thought about knitting this for me as well. However, to do that, I have to frog my driftwood tee. I'm going to frog my driftwood tee no matter what, guys. I did not knit that out of the right yarn. I knit it out of, the driftwood tee was knit out of 100% bamboo yarn from Southwest Trading Company in a royal blue colorway. I love the color, like the yarn, love the pattern. Wrong yarn for the pattern. That was completely my fault. The pattern called for more of a wool cotton blend. And I will tell you, something I did not know about bamboo yarn before I did that pattern was that it stretches. Way more than cotton stretches. So always be aware of that. Yarn choice, big problem with it. Yeah. So I'm probably going to frog that sometime towards the end of the year and start Convergence, but I do want to get Marsh Tee done first. So probably won't be on the needles by the time we get back for October's episode, but maybe for November. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so that's everything for there. Next episode, I hope to finish blocking a whole bunch of my outstanding projects that need blocking. I think I've got like 6 left. Basically, I haven't blocked anything this year. I haven't blocked hats, I haven't blocked shawls, I haven't blocked scarves, I haven't done any of that stuff. So the last week or two was the first time I blocked things in like 9 months. Just letting you guys know. It's kind of crazy. I hope to have a few additional completed objects, including the whale rug, as well as my Frisian shawl, and hopefully something or 2 others. I'm hoping to get some of those things done. We'll see. I also hope to have something new on the needles to show you guys. Obviously, a fairly monogamous knitter, so that's pretty much going to happen. Unless, you know, I get hit by a bus tomorrow, which I don't really want. And let's not put that out in the universe. So, there's also a pair of socks that I hand knit last year, 2 years ago. I have a really weird shadow coming in on my face over here from the window that's next to me. And I did the bind off way too tight. So I would actually like to unpick the bind off and go down a row and rebind off in a much looser gauge. So that I hope to get done by next episode as well. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up. If you guys would like to see more episodes like this, please click that subscribe button down there or over there or over there or wherever the heck it lines up on the screen. I would love to have you guys come back and visit me again in the Crazy Desert Knitting family. I really enjoy that. And until next time, everybody, just keep knitting. Talk to you later. Bye.